Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you for joining us for this Sikh Channel special report coming to you from Tracy in California, USA. I'm here at the Boys and Girls Club in Tracy, and what we are doing is we are covering this event which is taking place thanks to a number of families that have come together in the Northern California area to distribute jackets and coats and clothes to the homeless and anybody who needs jackets for the winter. These volunteers have come together to give back to the community, and today we're here in Tracy. They do it in other locations as well. So let's go and have a talk to them and find out a little bit about what they're doing. It's so great to be here. Could you tell us a little bit about what's happening here?
We're doing a yearly jacket drive. It's Sikh families that get together. And we started back in 1998, and this, I believe, the 20th year. And just trying to help the local community.
This jacket drive that you're doing, who can come here?
It's open to everybody, any caste, any religion. We don't discriminate. It's open to all.
So Aman, tell me a little bit about the volunteers, because there's actually quite a lot of people here volunteering, and I noticed that there's people from all different backgrounds and stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about the volunteers and how they've come together?
Yeah, so it started off as basically our family and cousins and whatnot, and as the event got bigger and bigger, some of our employees like to come help out, people of the community, the Boys and Girls Club. Just as big as the event's getting, more and more volunteers stand up to help out. We have volunteers from all over Tracy.
Can you tell me a little bit about what you do outside of, the rest of the year? What is your job? What is your business?
I'm a mechanic by profession. I also do some farming. Also, we own a couple of stores for the irrigation. And this is basically devoting our duty what we're supposed to be doing here. Those are just worldly stuff, and this is for as far as our Sikh core religion of our.
How many families roughly have come together to do this?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. A lot of volunteers, a lot of families. I'm going to say about 10 families.
And are they all based locally to Tracy or further afield as well?
Some Tracy, some out of the area.
How long have you been volunteering? How long have you been involved in this yourself?
We started with our main coordinator was Mike Sandhu, Karnail Singh. And it was four of us that started originally. It was, I think, Bhagat Singh and Juggy, JT, we called them. There's four of us that, we thought, how do we give back to community? What are we supposed to be really, it just all started in that, just a casual conversation. And we started with blankets, and then we figured out, well, blanket was a generalized thing. It doesn't really kind of do much. Then we got involved with the local temples, and that quite didn't flourish. So then we just started on our own. In fact, we'd go to LA and weekend before Thanksgiving and pick up the stuff and then get together, and that's where it took off. And now it's getting bigger and bigger.
Whatever we have left over, we go to all the homeless shelters. We do jackets, blankets, socks, beanies, gloves. We try and give them everything that they need to be warm during the winter time.
So it's not just today, this event,
It's all throughout the winter. We try and do different areas, maybe 2 different areas every week, right before the winter hits really hard. So mainly here in the Northern Valley is where we do it, because it's not too complicated. And there's a lot of, other places that we try and go to, but it gets kind of hard to, get into certain shelters. So we do what we can. Father always told me, as being a Sikh, for what you make in a year, whatever your profits are, there's a certain amount you should give back. But he also taught me about seva. He taught me, doing stuff for humanity is part of our culture, part of our, upbringings. And basically, for me, it's just trying to help people out, just do what I can.
Do you find that there is a need for the Sikh media in the United States at this point?
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is just a small part of what Sikh people do here in California. There's a really good group out of Yuba City. They're called Seva. What they do is every week in Sacramento, they will go and feed homeless people. They bring out meals every single Thursday of every week for the whole year. And currently there is some big fires going on in California. Thousands of people lost their homes. And they're out there feeding them every day at the shelters. They took out blankets, they took out all sorts of stuff that they need. And they don't ask for any recognition, but so Sikh people know what other Sikhs are doing out here in California, it might motivate them to maybe want to do more in the communities.
And for people watching in Europe, they might not necessarily know about the recent fires here. Could you tell us a little bit about that and just how big this fire was?
Oh, so this fire started off, I think, as like 2,000 acres of, campfire ground, which moved towards the cities. It burned down 200,000 acres. It displaced, hundreds of thousands of people from their homes. And some people are fortunate to have homeowners insurance or money to go live in a hotel, but the people that don't, they're stuck, in these homeless shelters or in, shelters that are being put up in all different cities, and they don't have, anything. Their houses were burned down, their cars, their clothes, they lost everything. They can't even go to work. So this has affected California greatly, and I'm really happy the Sikhs out of Yuba City are doing what they're doing. They're currently working with, I think, 3 or 4 shelters, doing meals at all of them, helping them out with any little thing that they need for elders, medicine, whatever. And it's just really hurt California, but it's good to see how helpful people are, how well they get together and try and help other people out.
Also, when I mentioned to you earlier, we started this thing, we were noticing a lot of discrimination against older folks. And they had because the community was heavily affected by the 9/11 issue with we felt that how do we get the word out that Sikhs are not that image, because that's what every image is portrayed on a national television. So that was the main core behind it. So how do we get the word out to communities that these people are not? We try to approach the channels to them do it, and that didn't work. Nobody wanted to listen to that. So only way to get attention was if you involve in a community, and then people are involved, then you charity, and then you get the media with it, and then also it puts a word out, hey, these people are not as they're portrayed. They're not terrorists, they're not that, they're actually a giving back community. And also to note, we're much older now, this is our younger generation. They're kind of pretty much continue on this kind of work. We're kind of still in the background helping out, but they're more to them because he did a lot of work and a bunch of other young. We're trying to get this into the young crews, the young people, so they can kind of carry it to a bigger level.
That's great, and that leads me to my final question. What do you see as the future for this?
I think with these guys, I'm really positive, and where their intentions are, how they're thinking, especially Almond. He's really, I've known this guy. He's a really good guy, and he's going to really be a really nice gentleman. And I think so we'll try to push as much as we can, but with him and his dad and his family, and we're all together, hopefully.
Passing along to the
level.
youth.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm here with Jasmine and Simran, who are also volunteers at this jacket drives. Jasmine, could you tell us a little bit about what we're doing here in your own words?
Yeah, so as Sikh citizens, we're very thankful to be part of this community, and we want to give back, and our way of doing that is this. So we basically purchase brand new jackets, gloves, blankets, socks, things like that, and we hand them out to people who need them.
Okay, great. Tell me a little bit how you got involved.
Yeah, so I actually started about 13 years ago. My family's been doing this for 20 years, and I was a volunteer. I started off, in handing out socks and beanies and gloves to children, and it was just really nice to you hand a little girl a pair of gloves and you see her eyes light up and she turns around and goes, "Look, Mommy, a pair of gloves." And it's very nice to see that.
And how old are you? You said you've been involved with it for 13 years, so what's this like being?
Yeah, so I'm 20 years old now, so I've been doing this since I was really, really young, and it's really nice to see how it's grown over the years. So we started off just doing this in Tracy, but now we've expanded to Stockton, Modesto, Sacramento, and this year we're even going to Berkeley, and we're helping out the Chico fire victims. Our events are actually open to anybody. Anybody who needs a jacket or a blanket can come and get one. And we serve just members of the community, we serve the homeless population, we serve anybody who needs it.
Are all the locations like this? This is a basketball court, right? Are all the locations like this?
No, so we also go to homeless shelters and community centers in various cities. So in Sacramento last week, we actually were on the street and we were just serving the homeless community out there.
Simran, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with this as well.
So my dad, he was originally like one of the first people to ever start doing this. So ever since I could probably walk, I was always involved with this. And he's always taught me to give back to the community. This isn't just the only thing we do for the community, but it's one of the biggest events we have. So he's taught me a lot of things along with all the other people that volunteer here. So yeah.
Okay, great. Tell me a little bit about the motivation. What it motivates you to come out every year to do this?
My grandpa, he was kind of the one that motivated my dad to do this. So I get motivation from my grandpa and my dad. My grandpa's no longer with us, and I know he always loved helping out people. He loved giving back. So that's what motivates me. I do this for him, I do this for my dad, and I do this for the people that need it. And also, like she was saying, like just the way you see people smile, like that's priceless.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about the jackets themselves. There's quite a variety here. What are the quality of the jackets? Because they don't seem like they're really low quality at all.
No, they're actually really high quality. We purchase them in bulk, and we have like raincoats, we have fuzzy jackets, we have children's onesies, we have really high quality stuff.
And you say you've been involved in this for many years. How have you seen it evolve over the years?
So basically at the start, we only had a few volunteers. Like she was saying, it was only in Tracy, had a small community center. Now over the years, we've gone from Tracy to all the way to Berkeley and many locations in there. And it's really nice seeing that just one person like my dad made such a big change. He made all these people want to come out and volunteer too.
And have you had issues getting volunteers, or do you find that you get enough?
No, not at all. The sign-up sheet, the volunteer list for this, it goes on and on.
How do you see this evolving in the future?
So I see us expanding to more locations throughout California and hopefully beyond. Hopefully we can work with other organizations and, include Langar Seva, which we do at some of our locations.
And let's say for anybody watching this at home, how can they be inspired by what you're doing? How can they bring that movement to their own communities? Do you have any ideas on that?
They can reach out to us if they want us to come to their community. We can see what we can do. We can try to get jackets out to them. They can reach out to us and see if they can volunteer at one of our events. Or they can just go to any local community center, homeless shelter, and help out in whichever way they can.
One person makes an incredibly large difference. So even if you think that what you're doing isn't making a difference, it is.
Hey guys, do you like your jackets? Like your jackets?
Yep.
Good. Hey, do you like your jacket?
Oh yeah, I love the jacket. Thank you.
Hi, do you like your jacket?
Very nice. Thank you.
Hi, did you guys like your jackets?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
Okay, now I'm here with Jamie, and Jamie is a veteran. Thank you for your service. And can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with this?
Well, I'm a third-generation Tracyite. I help run a nonprofit here in town that serves veterans throughout Northern California, moving to start serving the nation. I learned about the Sandhu family and how they, give back, and they're constantly involved in philanthropy throughout the area. And I asked how I could help and get involved, kind of bring some of the veterans that I work with, that I've helped in crisis, come out as well. We've seen about 40 of them, 40 veterans throughout our area come here to get some coats for themselves and their families. It's awesome. I love giving back. I mean, I retired from the Air Force about a year ago. And I think when service is in you, it never leaves you, So I was like trying to get another job, selling insurance or, real estate. It didn't feel right, But I really enjoy giving back to the community and being a part of something like this.
Do you find that this makes a difference at all in the community, and how does it help people?
Absolutely. I think it helps those in need, and I think it's a very uniting event. Like I said, there's people of all shapes and sizes, and all creeds and races. And it's good to see everybody come together, especially in cold weather. Who doesn't want a jacket in cold weather,
Yeah, and speaking of the jackets, I mean, there's a lot of choice out here, it seems, and a lot of quality. Tell me a little bit about the jackets.
Oh man, I've seen North Face, I've seen Columbia, Adidas. I mean, I'm getting ready to go stand myself in line. I know. I'm wondering, hey, does the volunteers get them too? No, I'm joking, obviously. But yeah, no, really good quality items. I know that this is the 20th year anniversary, I believe, of the Sandhu family doing this, and they're also looking at going up to Northern California, where Campfire happened, to bring coats up there to those who lost their homes and supplies and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to helping out with that as well.
Great, and tell me a little bit about the people that you've seen come in. What sort of people come in? What backgrounds, what ages?
I've seen everything, all demographics, from newborns to, probably about 90 years old, coming in with their kids, helping to bring them in. And I think it's just the real definition of America. I mean, you've got everybody from all, like I said, shapes and sizes and all corners of the globe. It's really cool. It's pretty cool.
And how have people got to know of this? How did you spread the word about this event?
Actually, I volunteered. I have quite a few people on my social media. And I actually created an event for this, and then it got shared, kept getting shared. I believe there were like 300 shares throughout the region, really, which is awesome. I met somebody today that came down from Santa Cruz. So that's a couple hundred miles away. No, it's really cool. I love seeing things like this. So.
Okay, now I'm here with Karnail Singh and PJ. Karnail Singh is actually one of the main organizers of this event as well. So Karnail Singh ji, thank you very much for joining us. Waheguru ji ka khalsa, waheguru ji ki fateh. Anji Bhai Sahib ji, can you tell us a little bit about this event in your own words? It seems that you're one of the main organizers. So can you tell us how this started?
We started about 20 years ago, and my dad used to say that you make one kid happy, God's happy. So we're trying to make a lot of kids happy,
That's very good. I mean, how did it start in the beginning? What was the idea behind it?
The idea behind is because they kept the Sahibzades in so cold at that time, and we tried to do this time of year, because what they did to the Sahibzadas kept them cold. We're trying to actually give jackets, blankets, socks, and all that stuff to keep people warm on that day.
So who is this open to?
Open to everybody, no questions asked. Anyone feels like they need one, jacket or gloves, and each item is given and is open to anyone.
So who actually ends up coming here? For people from what backgrounds, what ages?
They're all ages. And we basically buy, everything, all sizes, and so people from all different religions, it's announced out there, anyone, no question asked.
Okay, and how much does this event cost? Like, how much does this event cost you this year, and how has it grown over the last 20 years?
Just this location today, it'd be 75,000 to 100,000. Overall, all the locations we will cover, it costs about $250,000 every year.
And how is that funded?
Sandhu Brothers Farms funded.
So all like families to get together?
And all the volunteers come together and help us out.
Tell us a little bit about the volunteers. Where have they all come from?
They're all different religion people. They all come and do the volunteer work, help us out. A lot of Sikh friends come, but a lot of other religion people are, as you see, they're here, they come and help us out.
So what is it that you do outside of this? What is your occupation?
I'm a farmer with my brothers. I basically run most of the farming. My son runs all our packing. We pack and ship almonds all over the world, so he runs that part of it. Yeah.
Okay. So PJ, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and what's motivated you to help in this every year?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Mike said, I run the international sales part of our business. And what's motivated me is, I guess, just the need I felt that we as Sikh people need to be more integrated into our greater community, and that people need more exposure to people that look like me and you and my father in a positive light, right? Rather than what most Americans see Sikh people, or at least people that look like us, represented on news channels, right?
That's great. And who do you think that this event reaches out to?
I think the greater community, and not just Tracy, not just Northern California, but I think, through organizations such as yourself, it reaches kind of all over the world. And, we hope that it inspires other Sikh people to get more involved in their local communities.
Can you tell me a little bit about the other volunteers that are here in your own words? What's the motivation for them to come? And not everybody's, obviously Mike's involved in it, and you're involved in it directly, but it seems there are other people that have come from, different walks of life. So what's the motivation for them?
Absolutely. I think the greater motivation is just as humans, we have a need, especially maybe this time of year during the holidays, to reach out to other people who are, less fortunate than ourselves. And this is a great vehicle to do that. So people from different backgrounds, different religions see this as an opportunity for them to give back, through what, my dad and other people have donated through the jackets.
We go buy the best stuff out there. A lot of times a lot of places people do donate and they give out stuff, but it's always used stuff. We've been doing last 20 years, brand new stuff, truckloads. We bought 3 semi-truck loads for this, for this occasion, and we do this every year, all brand new.
And so you've been doing it 20 years. What do you see as the future? Where do you see this going in future years to come? Or where would you like it to be in, let's say, another 20 years' time?
In another 20 years, well, we'd be grateful just to maintain what we have going, but ideally we'd like to expand beyond Northern California, go to other regions. And some other Sikh charities that will go to impacted areas where, crises have struck around the United States, like hurricanes. They're more active and more mobile like that. And we like to turn this into a year-round thing where we can act and react in the same way that they do.
And do you find that in previous years, and even this year, do you find that you guys have had the coverage in the media to highlight what you guys are doing? And if not, then what would be ideal?
So it's been a little bit unfortunate that, some local media channels have not covered this event as well. And, not only does that kind of detract from the exposure that we're trying to bring to, Sikh people and how related and how community driven they are, but it also detracts from the availability, and the information for people who need these jackets to come receive them. And we have tons and tons of product, and every year we grow to meet the demand, and we would like the demand to grow faster than it is growing. We'd like to reach more people, and if we had, more coverage, we'd be able to do that.
Great. And finally, Bhai Sahibji, obviously much thanks to you and your family for organizing this. Is there anybody else that you would like to say thanks to for helping you organize these events as well?
Only one. That's thank God. God has given us everything. When I moved here, first house I rented didn't have windows. So, only God.
So there you have it. It's very inspiring to see these families come out just after the Thanksgiving holiday and rather spending time with families or doing shopping, which a lot of people normally do at this time of year. They're spending their time, their efforts, their money to distribute clothes to those that need it the most. And it's a very admirable thing that they're doing. And we hope that you will also get involved in your local community in doing the same kind of thing and giving back to the community that needs it most. Thank you for joining us. This has been Sikh Channel Special Report. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.